Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is another paid request, this time from Jose Ballard. And he wanted me to do a commentary on the 2008 film The Incredible Hulk. So, thank you once again for that. For anyone interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Again, it could be pretty much any type of video, like I said. And let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. As we have the Universal logo. Just doing that for syncing for those who are following along. So again, Universal is playing, universalstudios.com. And we're fading out. And boom, the Marvel stuff. Now, this was very early on in the Marvel new era, so to speak, where 2008 you had Iron Man and you had the Incredible Hulk. And this is going to be the start of the new Marvel cinematic universe. Now, there was a Hulk film in 2003 directed by Ang Lee, but a lot of people don't like that film. I do. I actually I really do appreciate the Ang Lee film, especially watching it back a year or two ago. I like how different it is. I like how unique it is. In this era of where there's so many cookie cutter superhero movies, I'm not even a big Ang Lee guy, but that's my favorite Ang Lee film, and like I said, it was cool to see him try to do something a bit different. And I like the way it's directed, the visuals, what he tried to do. I do think it at least tried to respect the character on a dramatic and tried to get into the inner workings. Yeah, it's a little bit too dramatic, but I do think it worked rather interesting for that type of film. Like I said, I really do like and appreciate Ang Lee's Hulk. And it's honestly my favorite Hulk film because of the depth that it tried to do. I'm like, you know what? It seemed like someone actually tried to respect the character. Now this one is more of fun action film. Although you could argue this might have the same amount of action as the Ang Lee's film. And I'll be honest, I liked Ang Lee's film more than this. I know I'm alone in that. I don't hate this film. I do like it. Stark Industries, of course, Tony Stark. I do like this. And this is miles better than what the fuck they've done with Hulk now. With Mark Ruffalo giving fucking breakfast burritos. And Edward Norton, I thought, did a good job. I like Eric Bana and Ang Lee's Hulk, but it would be cool if somehow you had Edward Norton and Ang Lee's Hulk. I think that'd be a really great melding of the two. Because Edward Norton, he seemed like he really did care for the material. I think I remember hearing he was a fan of the TV show. I mean, the opening, very reminiscent of the 70s TV show. I mean, the device that he's in, kind of like what Bill Bixby was in. I know he wrote a lot of this stuff that he wasn't credited. He really wanted to be in control because he took this seriously. He wanted this to be as good as can be. And there was a lot of material deleted. There was an opening where, very interesting opening, that he tries to kill himself, but the Hulk won't let him do it. As he's trying to kill himself, the Hulk like takes control, and a very interesting idea, but you know, not the first or last time MCU and such wanted to meddle. I mean, look what they did with Jon Favreau and Iron Man 2, and that's why Favreau did not direct again. He's been in the movies. I mean, he's in the Spider-Man movies and such, but he never directed again. And in a way, this is a sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk, but it's not. Because he's in another country like he was at the end of Ang Lee's Hulk. But then the way that flashback was done is not exactly how it was in Ang Lee's Hulk. So it's a sequel, but it's a reboot. It's like you hire Edward Norton and then, yeah. And there's different stories. Did Edward Norton want to come back? He didn't want to come back. Oh, he was too much of a pain in the ass to work with, so they recast someone else. It didn't seem like Edward Norton was a bit upset about not being able to come back. But I guess they thought, oh, we need a team player. Although I would imagine, I've heard many times Edward Norton's a pain in the ass to work with, so I can believe that part. But he is a good actor, and honestly, I do think he would be the guy's like, I'm not doing this fucking shit with Hulk giving people fucking burritos. I'm not having Hulk being a fucking goofy goober. It does seem like Edward Norton wanted to take this seriously, and you know, you're fighting with someone with an MCU that, you know, don't do too much. I think also because there was such of Ang Lee's Hulk that was too dramatic. I'm like, well, that's not really what people were complaining about. They just didn't care for other aspects. But I did. I saw 2003 Hulk in the theater. I'm like, oh, I wonder. Because I wasn't sure what to think of it. Because it was, again, different compared to others. And now it just stands out as more unique. So, I know I keep talking about Ang Lee's Hulk. Because I think it's an underrated film. I don't think it deserves the hate that it gets. But this is a decent one too. I think when I did the review, I said, surprisingly enough, I like Ang Lee's Hulk more than this. And I did not think in rewatching them that would be the case. Like, Edward Norton is definitely one of the better things about this. I mean, Abomination, the look of Abomination. I mean, kind of looks like what they did with Doomsday and just Batman v Superman. And Edward Norton, he's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Primal Fear, which I know that's the request I need to get to. I just have to, I don't own the films. It takes a while for me to find it to watch. And that's like an over 2-hour movie, so it's going to take a little bit of time. But I like Edward Norton. Fight Club, I really enjoy that movie. The Italian Job, I forget he was in that. Again, it was sorry, I'm getting lost in the film. But yeah, apparently there was a lot of stuff that was just, how I put it, taken out and deleted and not part of the, I guess, the plan that they wanted in the released version of the flick. Much more of a fun, much more of a action film. Which is nothing wrong with that with a Hulk movie, but there is a good serious aspect to partake into Hulk as well, so that Jekyll and Hyde type of aspect. Which they completely deleted that. Nowadays in the MCU, he's a fucking joke. See, this Hulk isn't a joke, and he's now joking Ang Lee's Hulk. Like, Ang Lee's Hulk, I think, could beat the fuck out of Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. I said it. There's Ang Lee's Hulk and this Hulk as well. They can both beat the fuck out of Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. Especially the one looking like a goddamn nerd. Fucking goofy goober. Just what they turned to Hulk. I know my friend Effrey's like a huge fan of the Hulk, and I could imagine the first time he saw Mark Ruffalo with the glasses and taking selfies, his mind must have exploded out of his ass. I know he hates the Ang Lee's Hulk. And like I said, I can understand people hating it. It is again, I'm not even an Ang Lee fan, but I like the direction. I like the visuals. I like that the Hulk. I like that at least. Same with this as well, but Hulk is taken seriously and not a joke. And there's many other aspects I like about it as well. And Hulk has some badass moments in that. He's throwing fucking tanks around. He bites like the tip off a missile, and then in this, there's some pretty cool moments too. But this one, again, it doesn't have as much action as one may remember. Again, if you combine the total screen time, this might have as much action as Ang Lee's Hulk. But yeah, this is directed by Louis Leterrier, who worked on some of the Transporter movies, the Clash of the Titans from 2010. I don't know what he's done since. It seems like that guy has dismissed a lot of his older films. I don't know. I thought I remember reading that. I'm like, well, I mean, to be perfectly honest with the Transporter films, more credit to those might go to, oh, was it Corey Yun, the action director? Like, he might have more to do with the success of the first two Transport than Louis Leterrier. Again, could be wrong on that. And yeah, this was supposed to link up because at the end of this film, you have Robert Downey Jr. coming in as Tony Stark. It's supposed to link up to this, and maybe they thought, well, maybe they knew in the future we're going to do a lot of this goofy shit to the Hulk, and Edward Norton would not be down for it, so like, fuck him. I'm like, well, Edward Norton's better than Mark Ruffalo, I'm sorry. Edward Norton did a good job. He might have been a pain in the ass to work with, so are a lot of people, I'm sure, but if they're... Okay, they may be a pain in the ass, but why are they being a pain in the ass? Are they being a pain in the ass because I want more money and I want some sex and I want some cocaine, or I'm being a pain in the ass because I want the best out of the film? If it's because I want the best out of the film, I'm like, it's not bad to be a pain in the ass then instead of a kiss ass. Because you kiss so much ass, become a fucking brown noser. Get the brown out of your nose. Oh, it's attached to it. And sadly, there's been no Hulk standalone movies after this because the box office of this film, as well as Ang Lee's Hulk, they did not set the world on fire. And Ang Lee's Hulk, I can understand because that was an experimental film with how Ang Lee did it, and like that's what makes it fascinating to me watching it again. Again, when you have like 3, 4 superhero movies a fucking year, almost at a month. Stan Lee, rest in peace, Stan Lee. A drink to Stan, the man. Stan Lee, wherever you are, man, Excelsior. But I forgot what I was saying. I got Stan, the man. Rest in peace, Stan Lee. Which is sad because after he died, then people are like, oh, well, Stan did this and Stan did that. Oh, you do it after he's dead, you motherfuckers. Oh, is that Peter Mensa with William Hurt? And there's Tim Roth from Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, I think that's Peter Mensa. He was one of the characters in the first Dead Space game, who's an ally with your lead character you play, Peter Mensa. He was also the guy who got kicked into the hole in 300. He was in, oh, what was the other movie? Yeah, I think he was the bad guy in Tears of the Sun. Now, of course, William Hurt, he plays Thunderbolt Ross, which was originally played by Sam Elliott. And I think Sam Elliott was wanting to come back, but I think they wanted no connection with Ang Lee's Hulk because it got a lot of bad fanfare. And you know, that's the thing though, is that when you have interesting films like Ang Lee's Hulk Bomb, now everything's so formulaic and cookie cutter. And just because it's different doesn't automatically make it good. Let's be honest with that. But and it does, like with Marvel films, I like Iron Man, I like Guardians of the Galaxy, I like Doctor Strange. You know, I like this film. But nowadays, I don't give a shit about what's coming out. I don't care. I didn't care about the last couple of Avengers films. To me, they were, I'm sorry, in my opinion, I thought they were cookie cutter, formulaic, boring, overlawn. There's some cool moments. Captain America using the Thor's hammer, but then you're thinking, well, why is Thor such a pussy that he can't use his own hammer? Captain America has to do it. So again, these questions arise. I like Captain America. It's a cool Captain America moment, but wow, Thor's a pussy. Why is he a pussy? Think he's the dude from the Big Lebowski. You know, why is Hulk being a pussy and gets his ass owned by Thanos in 2 seconds? Okay, you don't do that to promote Thanos as an important threat. Understandable. Hulk is the big badass. Thanos wrecks his shit, just like he did with Thor a bit. Okay, cool. But he wrecks He wrecks Hulk's ass. Not in that way. Okay, but let Hulk get a bit of retribution. Let Hulk, you know, get his turn later. Maybe as Grey Hulk or even Red Hulk or whatever the fuck. Beat the fuck out Thanos, but no, can't have that. Can't have a lot of that, so no, let's have him fucking breakfast tacos and shit. And it just again, they become very formulaic. And like I don't give a fuck about the Eternals. I don't give a fuck about I think Doctor Strange 2 they don't fuck up. Love to be proven wrong. Captain Marvel 2, oh yeah, I look forward to that shit. Here we have the men. Nah, he's not gonna be there. Pretty smart dog. And right there, we hate the bad guy. Like Tim Roth, we hate him because he even shot the dog. I mean, it's a tranquilizer dart. So that way you're not going too overboard that you kill the dog, but the fact that you train the dog, like, wow, this guy's an asshole. Another motif of, you know, fuck him, you know, that type of thing. But I know one of the things with Edward Norton was he wanted this to be a fugitive story, because that was with the Bill Bixby, you know, the whole TV show was, think of the fugitive, that TV show, but it's the Hulk. Which I'm not the most familiar with the comic books, by how the story was in the comic books, if that was the same thing where Bruce Banner went from A to B to C, traveling across, or was that more of the TV show? Again, I'm not an expert on the Hulk. And, okay, you want to have... They haven't done a Hulk movie because they feel the box office won't be there. I mean, this didn't do gangbusters at the box office, so on the one hand, on the business sense, I can understand that. But on the flip side, I went, well... Yeah, they're hesitant on doing a whole film because with, you know, Captain America, mostly it's the guy or it's a suit, so there's not as much special effects to be used, let alone compared to a Hulk, where when you see the Hulk in action, that's a lot of money on screen, a lot of dollars being put on screen. But I mean, are they wrong where a Hulk film would not make a lot of money? People are like, well, it's a good film. But again, I think this is a good film, and I think Ang Lee's Hulk was a good film, in my opinion. So, and they didn't, again, do game, but so I don't know. It's like, I guess business sense, but nowadays, with where Marvel is now, where fucking any movie, I mean, if Captain Marvel can make $1 billion, I would assume a Hulk movie now. Well, not now. It's too late. They fucked up the character. I mean, they fucked up Planet Hulk with Thor Ragnarok. That's why Thor Ragnarok. When I first saw Thor Ragnarok, I liked it. Now it's a time waster because I see the missed potential. Like, wow, Planet Hulk, what they could have done, they fucked that up. And but I don't hate Thor Ragnarok. I can't, I'm sorry. I know some people hate it, and I don't blame them for hating it, but it's a time waster. But I don't love it. And sometimes that happens with movies. Is it funny enough with like superhero movies where like Spider-Man Homecoming, and then I watch it and I'm like, eh. But yeah, this whole thing has been this chase scene with Edward Norton being chased by these guys. So I just like right then and there, you just say that this has a bit better pacing than Ang Lee's Hulk. I would give you that. I'll give you that. You know, better pacing. Bit faster. I mean, this is 20 minutes in. We have an action, chase sequence, which would not be the case in the 2003 films. I would say pacing wise, I think that's why people prefer this is because of the faster pacing and Edward Norton. And yeah, I like Eric Bana, but I do think movie wise, Edward Norton has been the best. Because I think he does capture, the fear, the intensity, the everyman quality. He was the right choice, and then I don't hate Mark Ruffalo, but I think I think Eric Bana's better, and I think Edward Norton's better, let alone Bill Bixby. So I think this is where he's going to turn to the Hulk. I like the idea of he has the heart rate, and when that's noticing, he knows, oh shit, it ain't going to end well. I thought that's a neat idea. But yeah, and if he did a lot of the writing for this, who knows, like, what did he come up with and what did other people come up with? But yeah, I mean, we're going into the Marvel films again. Like I said, I liked the first Iron Man, and I liked this. I'm trying to remember what came after. So you had Thor and Captain America, which I liked those. Captain America, the First Avenger, and Thor. I got the green eyes. That's definitely reminiscent of the Bill Bixby. That's what I mean. It seems like this was more in tone with the Bill Bixby 70s Hulk show, which I didn't grow up with. I did not grow up with that show, but it seems like they really wanted to take more inspiration from that. Okay, that guy's dead. If he's not dead, he's gonna wish he was. Yeah, I don't think you see a lot of the Hulk here. Yeah, just getting people from the shadows. Which is fine because it's early on and they don't want to give everything away right then and there. Waiting for that big reveal. Of course, his skin is so thick that ain't going to penetrate. If I understand with Hulk, the angrier he gets, the bigger and stronger he gets. And that's what I mean, like, against Thanos, that would be an interesting thing, is that, okay, imagine fire. You have fire orange, but then you have the next color which shows is even hotter, like white hot. White heat. So Hulk was this angry, but if you get him a supernova rage, then that could be something. Like if Thanos killed someone he loved, and you have that rage that is focused, that could be something unbelievable to deal with, and that would be the big Hulk moment. Like, oh shit! Like this is why Hulk is the most dangerous thing in the universe, and that's why he can't be on the planet. Because if he gets this way again, and he, then leading to Planet Hulk. But I mean, what do I know? Fucking Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, critically praised. Everyone loves it. Billions of dollars. Fuck do I know? And that was pretty cool that that was done for the most part practically. This big, large container wasn't just all CGI. They actually used some practical stuff within the scene. And a little bit of reveal here. I don't mind the design, the look of the Hulk here, so I don't know why they changed it with the... Was it Avengers? Like, the design of Hulk here is pretty cool, so it is like, why did they change it? I mean, okay, they changed the actor, but why change the design? I think he looks better here than, again, design-wise with the hair, more than the Avengers. But yeah, I like Thor. I like Captain America, the first Avenger. Iron Man 2, I always thought it was okay. It's flawed. You could tell there was some bullshit going on behind the scenes. But I never hated Iron Man 2. But I don't defend it either. Iron Man 3, I fucking hate. That's how I feel about it. Cluttered my fucking throat. I hate Captain Marvel. Ant-Man I liked. Ant-Man the Wasp was forgettable. I don't remember hating it. I just remember Well, I don't remember anything. Forgot it. Guardians of the Galaxy I liked. The sequel I liked less. Really liked Caruso. Really liked Michael Rooker in it, but oh, just I thought it was a step down from the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm trying to think what the hell else there was. Doctor Strange I enjoyed. Like I said, I enjoy the first Ant-Man. I know there's more, but I'm forgetting them. Oh, Thor the Dark World was a piece of shit. Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, I like. Time Waster, I like it. Spider-Man Homecoming. That's dwindled on me. I think because what they're leading up to, where, oh, he's fucking Iron Man Jr. I thought, okay, that's not really Spider-Man I'm into. I didn't like the direction they took it. I'm like, okay, no more Uncle Ben, which one of the most important fucking things in Spider-Man. Oh, it's played out. Well, you know what? So's Krypton, but that's part of Superman. So's Bruce Wayne's parents dying, but you can at least reference it in dialogue. Doesn't mean I have to fucking see it again. It's like, well, Bruce Wayne's parents didn't die. They just, Alfred died. See, it was Alfred who died. It's like, okay. Okay, Uncle Ben died, but we're not even gonna mention... They haven't once mentioned Uncle Ben. It's been how many fucking appearances? Like, we don't even know what Uncle Ben looks like. I don't think we've even seen a picture of Uncle Ben. Kind of an important thing of Spider-Man. Fuck do I know? It's all about Iron Man. And I like Iron Man, but I mean, I like Robert Downey Jr. I like him. I mean, I have no complaints about him. I don't know. Like, Spider-Man doesn't need all this tech shit. He doesn't need all this fucking gadgets and shit. He is the gadget. Like with the superhuman strength and agility, he is the gadget. So pretty much Edward Norton snapped out and realized he's in Guatemala. But yeah, we had the Avengers. The Avengers, I always thought was okay. Back in the day, I said it. I don't know if the review's still up, but even back in the day, I said it's an okay film, but I don't think it's the end all be all like people made it out to be. Avengers, the second film, I like more, which everyone hates. Age of Ultron. Everyone hates Age of Ultron. I'm like, I think that's the most fun of the Avengers movies. Most action packed, and James Spader I like. But I'm a James Spader fan, so I don't know why Age of Ultron gets so much shit. Oh, because Ultron. I'm like, well, you say it for most of the fucking villains. Honestly, James Spader I like because his personality, and again, I never understood the hate for Age of Ultron. Feel free to educate me. Doesn't mean I'll agree, but Age of Ultron is one of my favorite in the MCU, and of course that's the one that people dislike more than fucking Captain Marvel. Like that's the worst, Captain Marvel. Black Panther, I'm sorry, I'm not into Black Panther. Much prefer Blade. Much prefer Blade 2. Sorry, I haven't talked much about this, but see, that's humor that I didn't mind. Like, hey, can I need some stretchy pants, just in case. But yeah, Edward Norton, you could tell by his vibe, his demeanor, that he wanted to do a very serious movie. And it seems like there's depth wanting to be made, wanting to break out, but Marvel didn't really want to do that. And then like with Iron Man 2, with Jon Favreau, they were fighting him because we gotta add this, we gotta add this. Why? Because we want to set it up for all these sequels, because we're making this universe. And it's like, I don't give a shit about universe, I give a shit about making my movie. And that's why Iron Man 2, one of the drawbacks of that is the shit with Black Widow, is I don't, just make a Black Widow movie. Now they are. It's too late. Yeah, you make a movie after the character's dead. That makes a lot of fucking sense. Hey, we finally made a Black Widow movie. I mean, she's dead, but it's a prequel. I give a fuck about Black Widow now. Sorry. To be honest, I never gave a whole fuck about Black Widow. I always thought she's okay. But to be honest, I never gave a fuck about Black Widow movie. I'll admit. I think she's okay in the movies, but it's not like, oh, I can't wait to see the new Avengers film for Black Widow. I'd rather see a Hawkeye movie, honestly. Oh, because it's a lady. Nah, I mean, I'd rather see a Rogue movie, especially get the right actress, because she was good in the X-Men cartoon, had good attitude. I don't know who the fuck would play Rogue. I'm just thinking like the worst choice, like Dolly Parton is Rogue. No, shit. Gray Road is gonna be sitting 9 to 5 after she's beating up people. No. I liked William Hurt, but I like Sam Elliott a lot more as Thunderbolt Ross. I'm sorry. I know they brought him back. Was it Captain America Civil War? I like William Hurt as an actor. I liked Altered States from back in the day in 1980 or so. But Sam Elliott, I thought, brought a lot more of the vigor, the intensity. Like Sam Elliott, he was intense as you get why he's called Thunderbolt. Like he's an intense motherfucker in Ang Lee's Hulk. William Hurt, I thought he was a step down. I'm sorry, I did. But And same with, I hate to say it, like Liv Tyler's okay, but I liked Jennifer Connelly a lot more in the 2003 Hulk movie. And like I said, I liked Eric Bana in that. I know a lot of people don't, but I do like him in it. But again, I think it'd be interesting if you somehow put Edward Norton in Ang Lee's Hulk. That's what I mean, it seemed like Ang Lee, what he was doing is what Edward Norton wanted to do. You know, more depth, more serious. So I would think he'd be more gravitated towards that. But what do I know? Plus, if it's an origin movie, it would make sense why it's not automatically a fugitive story. I mean, Liv Tyler's okay. It's fun. Anytime I think of Liv Tyler, I always think she looks like her dad, Steven Tyler, and her Steven Tyler PJs. Steven Tyler PJs. I know that's not nice. That's not meant to be an insult. It just her features maybe remind me of her dad. Although if she heard that, she'd probably be insulted by that. So it's not my intention. I think she's good. She's good looking. I liked her as an actress. Again, I like Jennifer Connelly more. She does fine in this. It just again, Jennifer Connelly, I got a lot more out of. Same with Sam Elliott. I mean, this is sort of a typical, the love lost. She moved on. He can't really be with her because of his condition. Trying to find a cure. You know he's not going to find a cure because otherwise there'd be no movie. Or even if you do find a cure, you don't have to throw it away because he's got to fight the bad guy and save the day. One or the other. So, a little bit down. So, I mean, again, that's another thing I liked about Ang Lee's Hulk is I thought the story was a bit more interesting. I liked the idea of a father being so fucked up that he's going to experiment on his own son, and then the son has to deal with those consequences, and you have this father-son thing where I get what Ang Lee was going for. There are certain moments though that come off over dramatic, like a play. So I think there are times where Ang Lee could have like pull him back a bit, but again, the story was a bit more interesting to me. Here, I'm more interested in Edward Norton's performance. Lou Ferrigno, of course, Hulk from the '70s TV show. I think he does the voice of the Hulk in this movie as well. But yeah, Lou Ferrigno. And of course, that's why he's like, "You are the man," and him going, "God bless you, brother," kind of like a passing down the torch. Because you can't do a Bill Bixby because he passed away. So Lou Ferrigno, like I said, it seemed like Edward Norton was a big fan of the TV show. That is what he wanted to do is ode to the TV show. And I think he's pretty, decently successful in that aspect. See, that's what I mean. Like this gear is totally what Bill Bixby had in the TV show. The chin strap, the whatever the hell he's in. Which from what I understand, there's like 70 minutes of footage that was shot and not ever used in the movie, including like more of an origin build up to it. And yeah, I don't know if that's true, but that's I remember reading somewhere that there's a lot of footage kicked out. Norton 360. 180 and a 360. Ooh, cup of coffee. Macho Man Randy Savage do a 360. I think also what it is nowadays with superhero movies, they're so common. And again, a lot of them is so much of the same old, same old. They go, okay, what's different? What's interesting? What's unique? You know you can have so much of a good thing before it gets tiresome. It's like cereal. You love cereal, but maybe you don't want to eat cereal every fucking day. You want eggs, bacon, you want sausage, you want pancakes, you want waffles. Something else to it. Like I like pizza, but I'm not going to eat it every day. Number one, because I die, and number two, because it just you can't have too much of a good thing. And honestly, lately it hasn't been much of a good thing anyway. It's funny, I reviewed Green Lantern recently, and I was surprised how many people like Green Lantern. I thought I was one of the only people, but a lot of people like Green Lantern. Like, I did a review, you read the comments, it's like, wow, most people, yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. And someone had it, yeah, if you put a Marvel logo at the beginning of Green Lantern, it would get the pass. That's what it seems like. And that's what I mean, like, all these, oh, Green Lantern is so bad. What's different between that and a chunk of these Marvel movies? Again, if Green Lantern was Marvel, it's the same, formulaic, sense of humor. What makes it that much fucking awful and so terrible? Green Lantern's not that bad. And this isn't that bad either. Oh, this is one of the lesser ones. No, it's not. It's better than most of the Avengers films. I would rather watch this over. I like Age of Ultron. I would put that above this, but I like it more than the first Avengers. I like it more than Infinity War. I like it more than Endgame. And it's like fucking 4 hour running time, 3 hours. I like it more than Iron Man 2, and I don't even hate Iron Man 2, but I like it more, definitely more than Iron Man 3, because I like Edward Norton's performance. It goes at a decent enough pace. It's not too boring. It's under 2 hours. Wow, it's not 2.5, 3 hours like every fucking film needs to be. Uh, I mean, Liv Tyler does fine. Tim Roth does fine. The look of the Hulk, decent design. Some of the action bits, nicely done. Some practical used, which helps amplify the action. Edward Norton seems like he treats the character with respect, like Ang Lee's Hulk did. That's the thing with these two Hulk films. It seems like they actually like the character of Hulk, unlike the new ones where it's like he's a fucking joke. I'm like, do you guys like the Hulk or not? Like, what can you do with the Hulk in the future? Now that he's been a fucking selfie taken, nerdy glass. That's the thing. I understand that's in the comics. There's things in the comics. There's people in comics that love the royal flush and ride playing cards like surfboards. Try to put that in the movie. Spider-Man turned to a fucking actual insect. Try to put that in a fucking movie. I mean, Spider-Pig. Try to put that in a live-action movie. Of course, they probably will with Howard the Duck. But I mean, there's a lot of things that's in it's also how it's done as well. How it's written, how it's filmed, how it's directed, how goofy, how serious, how in between. The See, now I'm sorry I'm watching because I'm just now wondering like what all was cut out of this movie, like what all was edited out. the hell is my... Oh. I want to get my phone because I want to look up trivia to see if it details more of maybe what was cut out. But yeah, this film's not a bad film. Whatever you. It's just not a film I rewatch a lot. Like I said, Ang Lee's Hulk. People hate the way that's directed. I love the way that how visual it is. The comic book panel stuff. But I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. Trying to be stylish. Yeah, you can be over stylish, but you know, it is a... I thought it was a nice experiment. That's why they don't do it again, because people hated it so much, but I find it really just fun to watch on a visual note. Like, when I watch it, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Well, they did, like, comic book panels, and just visually nice to watch. Again, made it feel unique and not same old like every fucking film nowadays. Or comic book film. Let's see. Hulk. 2008. I mean, this stuff isn't bad between Edward Norton and Liv Tyler. It's just typical, but not bad. Louis Leterrier wanted Mark Ruffalo, but Marvel insisted on Edward Norton. Okay, I thought that looked familiar. Near the beginning of the film, when there's flipping through the TV, there was a show that was on. I'm like, is that Bill Bixby? But yeah, it was Bill Bixby. The Courtship of Eddie's Father. Huh. So they did a nod to Bill Bixby. That's pretty cool. I thought it looked like that, but I wanted to make sure. Let's see. Tim Roth getting these implants. According to Tim Roth, Edward Norton rewrote scenes every day. Edward Norton and Liv Tyler spent hours discussing the characters. Edward Norton, who had previously rewritten films he starred in, wrote a draft of the script, which the director of Marvel Studios found satisfactory. I don't think that in great literature and films, explaining the story's roots means it comes in the beginning. Audiences know the story, so we're dealing with it artfully. His rewrite added the character of Doc Samson and mentioned references to other Marvel comic characters. They chose a darker shade of green from Hulk and decided to not make him as large as the 2003 film. Stays at consistent height. Sam Elliott wanted to reprise his role, but no, they gave it to William Hurt. Because then they wanted nothing to do with it. Yeah, apparently Edward Norton was a big fan of Hulk. It's just he turned it down at first because he was not sure how it would turn out. Because he didn't want to do a shitty film. Now we have our second action scene. This is pretty much our second action scene. We're about 40 minutes in. And that's why Tim Roth been enhanced. So that's why he's a bit faster. And this is when you don't... With Tim Roth running that fast, I wonder if they either had him on wires and he pretended to be, but like they have him carried, or one of those tracks where Like at the airport or something where you just stand on it, it'll move on its own like conveyor belt. But if you do this, it'll make you run faster because you're moving with the motion of. I'm not sure exactly how they did that. Phone, could you not turn off? Could you stay on more than 30 fucking seconds? Let's see. Rewrote the script. Edward Norton rewrote the script substantially, and on certain posters he was credited under the pseudonym Edward Harrison. Writing credit was denied by the WGA. Edward Norton directed himself in some of his own scenes, such as the campus scenes, to save time when Louis Leterrier was busy working with the second unit. David Duchovny was considered to play Bruce Banner. I could see that. I could see David Duchovny. That would have been interesting. But yeah, I think Edward Norton did a great job with it. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Just don't piss him off. You're gonna be pieced. Although director Louis Leterrier liked the 2003 Hulk, he concurred with Marvel that to continue the franchise would be better to deviate from the cerebral style of the first film and focus on a more action-filled tone. Well, I can understand that, but whatever. See, that's the thing with the 2003 Hulk. I would like to have seen a sequel because it was going to have Grey Hulk, the Leader, the Abomination. Well, this had the Abomination, but you know, they had the Leader in it, Grey Hulk. We've never seen Grey Hulk in a fucking film yet. Never seen Grey Hulk yet. I say yet. Sure, one day they will. But will anyone fucking care? Well, yeah, because every Marvel film makes $1 billion now. I said, what's the Marvel film? I don't care. I'm seeing it anyway. Okay. Here we have the Hulk. Sounds to me like with the practical, like you have an actual Humvee toppling over. To add that practicality helps the action scene that much more. Like they actually topple a real one. Okay, like that's obviously that's going to be CGI because it's hard to do that practically. But you know, it's fun to have, you know, Hulk smashing shit. Nothing wrong with that. But that's a real Humvee blast into another one. Like that looked really cool. I used to tell that's a real Humvee doing like this. And again, I appreciate that. That makes the action scene amplified that much more. Oh, isn't this when he tits, I think he tits Tim Roth, right? Gives him the fuck you kick. Definitely a more like psychotic look on Hulk's face in this one. And of course the enhancements is why Tim Roth's able to do this stuff. I don't know why the fuck do you think a pistol's going to do anything? You think a pistol's going to do anything to this fucking guy? Like what do you expect to do? Like punch him out? These cannons look like something they fight Godzilla with. Yeah, I think it'll end with him kicking Tim Roth, and then that's when they inject him. Turns into Abomination. There's like a sound wave thing. Yeah, high pitched buzzing. Does he do his like thunderclap here? Sorry, I'm just watching. I think he does his thunderclap, which is a pretty cool classic Hulk move. Oh no, he does it with the fire. No, he throws it. That's right. He does a thunderclap when he gets the fire out. That's later. I think that's when he throws it like a frisbee. I believe. Yeah, he throws it like a frisbee. There you go. Splits the fucker right in two. Gunship ain't gonna do shit, man. I've seen him in the 2003 one take one down and spit a fucking rocket, ate it for lunch. Dude, you really think the fucking machine gun's gonna do anything? Fuck are you doing? I'm sorry, that looked a little bit funny with the CGI body. And right to the tree. That looked a little bit Looney Tunes. That's all, folks. Hey, Mr. Random Guy yelling for Betty. Who's like your boyfriend, the boyfriend for like, we saw for 2 scenes. I want my Betty, 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 Betty. I want my Betty with the baby back ribs. Let's see. Thunderbolt Ross will later become the Red Hulk. And then Betty Ross will later become Red She-Hulk. And then Bruce's cousin would be She-Hulk. Are they doing a She-Hulk thing? Is that what they're doing? Thought they were. No, he protected Betty. Not Betty Boop, but Betty Ross. That'd be fucked up. Just all of a sudden, he just tore her in half, like a chicken bone, like a chicken when it's just pulled her fucking arms off like a chicken wing. Like, what the fuck kind of Hulk movie is this? Matthew McConaughey auditioned for the role of Bruce Banner Hulk, but was turned down. Huh. Interesting. Let's see. Yes. This actor looks familiar. I swear I've seen him in other stuff. I'm trying to see if there's anything about about the other deleted scenes other than the beginning one. So sorry I'm being so silent. much, sadly. Doesn't show much here. Let me go with the list of Marvel films, like what has all come out. Marvel films. That's not too bad job with the rain bouncing off the skin of Hulk. Not too bad of a visual job. And you see rolling down the skin, that's pretty decent. Give credit to the special effects guys for that. Yeah, I don't mind the look of Hulk in this. I thought he looks pretty decent. So decent that they changed it for the next one. And I don't know why. But he does seem smaller now that I think he does seem smaller. I do wonder why they did that. I don't mind the darker green color. I think that actually not too shabby. Yeah, you tell it's like a bit of a darker green. Watch your head. I'm going to sit on it in a bit. Lay down. Let me sit on your face. Yes, please, Liv Tyler. So, okay, we got Iron Man 2008. Good movie. Incredible Hulk 2008. June. I liked it. Iron Man 2 2010. So I think it's okay. But I don't... Not going to defend it. Thor 2011. I liked it. Captain America the first Avenger. Better than I thought it would be. The Avengers. It was okay. Phase 2. Iron Man 3. Thought sucked. Thor the Dark World. Thought sucked. Winter Soldier, Captain America. To me, it's the best of the Marvel films. Guardians of the Galaxy. Really enjoyed it. Avengers Age of Ultron. My favorite Avengers film. Ant-Man. I enjoyed it. Captain America Civil War. Enjoyed it. Doctor Strange. Really enjoyed it. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I liked it, but I think it's a step down. Spider-Man Homecoming. That's gone a bit downhill for me. I don't think I hate it, but man, the more I think about it, the more problems I have with it. I don't give a fuck about his fat friend. I don't give a fuck about whoever the fuck that is MJ. Don't give a fuck about all the gadgets. I'm watching Spider-Man, not Iron Man 2.0. Thor Ragnarok, it's okay, but they wasted storylines at Planet Hulk. Black Panther, in my opinion, overrated. Infinity War, the most overrated Marvel film. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, fuck it. Ant-Man the Wasp, forgettable. Captain Marvel, the worst. Avengers Endgame, you want some breakfast tacos? Spider-Man Far From Home. I liked it more than Homecoming. I still have issues with it, but there's some stuff I do like about it. And I don't give a fuck about Black Widow. I don't give a fuck about Shang-Chi. That looks so generic. Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings. That would be 10 cock rings. Eternals. A trailer of Don't Give a Fuck-itis. No Way Home. No Way Jose. I mean, that's more of a gimmick film. Hey, do we have Tobey Maguire? Do we have Andrew Garfield? Do we have, all these villains? Like, was it Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2? And maybe Jamie Foxx from Electro? And why don't you just have, Dolph Lundgren's The Punisher? If you have that, I'll fucking watch it. I don't know, just the guy with the blue Punisher. But just Punisher first appearance was in a Spider-Man comic. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I'm interested, but they may fuck that up. Thor, Love and Thunder, sounds like a shitty song from the 80s. Love and Thunder. Fuck you, Thunder. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I didn't like the first one, so I don't care about the sequel. Ant-Man the Wasp. Quantum Mania? Fuck is that? The Marvels? The fuck is the Marvels? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Whatever. New Fantastic Four. Don't give a shit. Like, I don't give a shit about any of this stuff. Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals. Wow. Really give a fuck about any of that. I don't give a fuck about their TV shows either. I don't give a fuck about Loki. I don't give a fuck about Falcon and the Snowman, whatever the fuck. Just don't care. That's why I just burned down superhero movies. As you see, I liked a lot of them. I'm just burned out. Fucking burned out. Let's see, look at the cast here. Edward Norton. Let's see, Liv Tyler, Tim Roth. I think Tim Roth was signed on for a couple movies that never came to be. So when that happens, do they have to pay off the actors? Do they pay off their contract or something else? Ty Burrell, that's the guy who was kind of the almost boyfriend of Betty Ross. I'm like, oh, this guy looks familiar. What has he been in? Oh, he was in the Dawn of the Dead remake. That's who he was. I think he was the... Okay, that's who he was. Okay, I thought he looked familiar. Ty Burrell, Dawn of the Dead remake. Okay. Was he the guy who was the dickhead in that? Yeah. And they take his boat at the end. That's right. Deadish. Okay, yeah, I knew he looked familiar. Yeah, he's the asshole in Dawn of the Dead remake. Okay. Yeah, I thought he looked familiar. Let's see, what else we got? William Hurt. Oh, the pizza owner that we saw, who was talking with Edward Norton, voiced Bruce Banner in the 1966 The Marvel Superheroes animated series. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that was Peter Mensa with General Ross, so that was him. Let's see, production of this. Yeah, because I want to read that part I was talking about. Yeah, 70 minutes of footage, mostly dealing with the origin, were not included in the final cut. Much of this backstory was unscripted, and the filmmakers were never sure of including it in the final cut. Had considered releasing some of these clips on the internet. I'm not saying you need 70 minutes just to get to the Hulk. I'm not saying you need that, but... A negative test screening where flashbacks were placed across the film that the audience found too similar to the 2003 Hulk and resulted in compressing these to the film's start. This replaced the original opening where Banner comes to the Arctic to commit suicide. You should have left that in. Now here's the arguments. Edward Norton and the director disputed with the producers over the final running time. They wanted to be near 2 hours 15 minutes, while the producers wanted the film to be under 2 hours. Rumors spread that Edward Norton made it clear he won't cooperate with publicity plans if he's not happy with the final product. Norton dismissed this. Our healthy process of collaboration was misrepresented publicly as a dispute, seized on by people looking for a good story. It's been distorted. Let the film speak for itself. Let's see, get into over here. I'm curious, Edward Norton. There's a bit on Joe Rogan that was interesting with Edward Norton that he does talk about this. I can't play it because it's Edward Norton, but I wonder if there's a... So I'm not saying much about what's on screen, but what's on screen is pretty typical. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just... But you need to control your angle. I don't want to control it. I want to get rid of it. Will they, won't they with the love story? Okay, here is Edward Norton. I love the whole comics. I believe they were very mythic, and what Chris Nolan had done with Batman was going down a path that I aligned with. Long, dark, and serious. Well, I don't know if it needs to be, because Nolan's... I got that with Hulk 2003, and people shit on it. Like, Nolan's Batman, I'm not even big on. But I can understand, like, wanting to take it serious. I laid out a two-film theme, the origin and the idea of Hulk as the conscious dreamer, the guy who can handle the trip. They're like, that's what we want. As it turned out, that wasn't what they wanted. But I had a great time doing it. I got on great with Kevin Feige. Pretty much he wanted a bit of a darker film. Also, it seemed like Edward Norton, he wasn't sure on committing on, like, doing all of these films, because there's other stuff he wanted to do. And I'm like, well, he wanted to do this two-film thing, and that was it, and they disagreed. And that's what Marvel wanted, is they wanted this to be ongoing for, like, the next 20 fucking years. And then, I'd rather have his Dark Hulk film than what the fuck we have now. Oh, this guy, he was in some of the Coen brothers. Especially My Old Brother, Where Art Thou, and so forth. Called Mr. Blue, huh? Where's Mr. Pink? Mr. Blonde. Alright. Let me get off this phone. I mean, I'd be curious. I would have been curious to see what Edward Norton would have done with his two Hulk movies. That's not what we got. I think that's the thing, is that with this film as is, I liked it. It's fine, but it just, other than Edward Norton's performance, there's not a whole lot of it that stands out on a story front or on a visual front, if that makes sense. And like you said, it's, people talk about how it has so much more action than Ang Lee's Hulk. We're an hour and 15 minutes. We've had, what, 2 action scenes? The foot chase released to the Hulk, which is in the shadows for the most part. And then that battlefield where he hit Tim Roth at the end. And I don't know. I think it might be till the finale that we see the next fight scene. Because we got about 50... Yeah, taking count and credits. Plus the Robert Downey Jr. cameo. Yeah, then that, let's say 10 minutes, so 42. Maybe like 25 minutes left. So I mean, it's not as action-packed as some people made it out to be. There's some fun action at the end. But I say it's just... I didn't. People are like, well, how could you like Ang Lee's... I like the film, it's just... There's not a whole lot about it that stands out other than Edward Norton's performance and, you know, the 2 or so action beats. Like the stories, like, yeah, didn't you know they're not going to find a cure, and even if they find a cure, he can't really take it, or something else going to happen, or then you kind of know where it's going. And like I said, I thought the story bit more interesting, a bit more fucked up, a bit more, I guess as they call it, cerebral. That seems like a really pretentious way to describe it, though. And just the visual aspect, and that didn't have a lot of action either, but that one just, I just really got kicked out. I don't know. Like with Iron Man, like you compare with Iron Man, I think because of what Robert Downey Jr.'s character is in that, you're able to... That's a character that made sense to have a bit more fun, and because of his personality. So even when the action's not happening, you got Robert Downey Jr.'s personality and the way he quips with Pepper Potts and with the press. You're enjoying those aspects when the action's not on screen. Here, Edward Norton wants to do this darker take, but he's kind of almost handcuffed because it can't be too dark, it can't be too this, it can't be too of a depth because we hated Ang Lee's Hulk. So Edward Norton's kind of trapped in this glass ceiling that you cannot get further up because Marvel, whoever, can't go any further. So it's kind of in this weird bubble of, okay, you wouldn't want to be more of an action film, but it's like, well, even then, it doesn't have, if you don't mean more of an action film, then go that route and have more action than the previous film, but it really doesn't. I think if you put the running, I've already said that. Tim Blake Nelson, I think that's this guy's name. Could be wrong, but I know he was in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, some other Coen Brothers stuff. That's the thing, is that you can never have a finite conclusion to this character. until you make like a last film. And not like the death of Incredible Hulk, that bullshit with the they did with this TV show. That's why I think also I'm like, well, I've seen a couple episodes, but if it's going to end with the Hulk fucking dead, because they didn't do the sequel that they left as a cliffhanger, I'm like, well, kind of shitty to do all this build up to that fucking conclusion. I don't know if that makes sense. But if the ending sucks that much, then it's hard to go on the journey. I love the X-Files, but I haven't seen the X-Files in a while because I hated what the fuck they did with the revivals. Such a shitty way to end it. I mean, it could be worse. They could have killed everybody, but still pretty shitty. Like, that's what the fuck, man. But you just have to ignore the shit. Maybe that's what it is. You just gotta ignore it. Just like ignore Alien 3. So we have Tim Roth, who's obviously changing. They injected him. He's going to become the Abomination. Take on the Hulk. Which again, I know they signed Tim Roth for a couple other movies, so obviously they wanted him to come back at some point. So this is all the blood. He's able to replicate it. That's a shitload to replicate. Make humans impervious to disease. It's a good notion. It's a good notion, but Edward Norton's committed to it. You can tell he's very much committed to this role. Yeah, I would say Edward Norton is better than the movie. It sounds like I'm tramping on the film. I'm not trying to tramp on the film. It's just this is a film that I don't rewatch a lot because it's not as fun as Iron Man is not meant to be. It's not as consistently interesting and action-packed like Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and it's not as creative as Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not meant to be any of those, but it's just, I said it's better than a lot of the shit they do nowadays, but it's, I don't want to say mundane, almost routine in a way. And then Norton makes it work. Oh yeah, they capture him because then sometime. Oh yeah, because then Tim Roth is going to get the more of the juice. Fuck you, Thunderbolt Ross. Fuck face. Stab him in the throat. Punch him in the face. Break his nose. Something, man. Thunderbolt Ross deserves to get his ass kicked. I think this girl gets killed, right? Does she get knocked out or does she get killed? Oh, there you go. But yeah, I do like Tim Roth in this as well. He literally said, She's an annoying bitch. I mean, Tim Roth doesn't have a lot to do character-wise, but it's still nice to see him. He's a good actor. Bit underrated actor. So, I liked him as well. Listen, the cast is pretty decent in this. I keep mentioning Edward Norton, but I would say Edward Norton, Tim Roth. Then Liv Tyler's okay. William Hurt, meh. And Samuel Elliott I like more. Jennifer Connelly I like more. He needs more of the juice. Wow, they really had to put that in dialogue. The midst could be an abomination. Ah, that's why it's called abomination, because the midst could be an abomination. So they literally put in the dialogue, it could be an abomination. I'm like, wow, I forgot they actually put that in the fucking dialogue. Wow. Wow. Stop playing footsie with me. I was surprised the soldiers let him do that. They let him touch, and he's not even handcuffed or anything. Well, not that that would do any good, but again, I'm surprised the soldiers like letting them touch, you know, playing footsie with her, and they don't like have the guns on him. I'm surprised by that. Why don't the soldiers like have a gun on him? Like, I'm gonna kill you before you fucking change or try. Oh, he was the abomination. Oh yeah, he gets messed up, and there's a potential that he'll be the leader in the next film. Yeah, because it goes in his head, and his brain gets bigger. Like to set up to be the leader, which they never brought up again. Yeah, they never brought that up again, this guy, as the leader. That's never been brought up in any of the movies, so... That's what I mean, they kind of forgotten this movie. Other than Thunderbolt Ross, William Hurt. But they act as if this movie doesn't exist. And I think that's why I would say, on that aspect, it's a little underrated, where it's not that fucking bad. I mean, make Iron Man 3 not exist. Make fucking Captain Marvel not exist. I mean, this is better than those. Yeah, it's about 24 minutes with the end credits, so... Again, with the Robert Downey Jr. scene and the credits, it's probably about... I said 10, maybe like 8 minutes, so... I'd give or take like 15 minutes left. And this is where you get your finale. And I think that's it depends what you want. If you want more of just the fast-paced, straightforward flick, this would be more of the Hulk movie for you. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, I don't think it's a bad film at all. But with the Hulk, I just prefer the more interesting film, which to me is the 2003 one. Like the ending, there's stuff I would have changed in that movie with the ending, but I get the idea, what it was trying to do, and that makes it more fascinating to me. Where for years this kid has had the rage filled inside him. For years this kid has been like this inner rage about the death of his mom, and seeing your mom fucking killed by your dad pretty much, and you want it, you got it, take it. And the guy wanted the rage, but too powerful of a drug, and makes the bad guy overdose in it. I mean, there's some stuff I would have done differently with that, but I get the idea. It's funny, he does look a little bit like Doomsday later on in Batman v Superman. But obviously they wanted this to give Hulk something to actually fight. Which makes sense. You know, do you have a big bad monster for Hulk to fight mano to mano instead of just, you know, tanks and choppers and such? Plus it doesn't feel like a reboot. I mean, like a carbon copy of the previous film. So, that was nice to see. I mean, the CGI on the Abomination. I mean, it's 2008. God, that's 13 years ago now? Holy shit. 13 years ago. He's the one who made it. Let Thunderbolt Ross do it. It's his fucking fault. It's his fucking fault. Like, they, in this bit, I thought was actually pretty cool. The idea of him falling and turning to the Hulk in the middle of it. They try to make fun of this in, what's it, Thor Ragnarok? And I'm like, oh god, I'm sorry, Incredible Hulk is better than you. Tis at the very least, Edward Norton's taking this seriously, unlike Mark Ruffalo. Like, they try to do this in Thor Ragnarok, and it's like, oh, he fell, and he lands, and, oh. I think even try... I'm like, oh god. See, that's what I mean, just, everything's a fucking joke. Everything's a goddamn joke now in Marvel. I mean, you can have humor, like that bit there. I forgot, okay, I forgot, like, they did the bit here as well. It was funnier. With everyone going, oh shit. And he falls through. So they already did the bit. I forgot. It's been a while since I've seen this. So they already did the bit here that they stole for Thor Ragnarok. I thought he turned in the middle of Hulk. No, they did the same fucking thing. So Thor Ragnarok literally stole this bit. Only it was funnier here with everyone going, oh shit. That made me laugh. And that's the thing when you watch a movie, there are movies that you like more as years go on, and there's movies you like less as years go on. And uh, I'm sorry for people to say that never happens. I'm like, well, good on you. But, you know, there are movies that are consistently I love and consistently I hate, and then there's movies that age better and age worse. I think Hulk 2003 aged better. But like, you take like A Good Day to Die Hard. I saw that in the theater. Oh, I liked it. Because come on, I don't want to see a bad Die Hard movie, and I fooled myself into it. And then I saw a whole DVD. I went, wow, this sucks. What am I talking about? This comes from a guy that likes Die Hard 4, but Die Hard 5, I'm like, fuck. That did suck. But this doesn't suck. I mean, this is a fun action sequence. And yeah, I like that they put in practical mixed in. It's not just an entire fucking green screen. And you get good moments like this here. Get in the car and use them as boxing gloves. That's a crowd pleasing moment. Here you go. Yeah, he uses boxing gloves. That's pretty damn cool. That's a crowd pleasing moment. Just being ever loving fuck out of him. See, that's the Hulk being in the Hulk. See, I'm trying to think what I was going to say. But yeah, you get some fun crowd pleasing moments like that. Well, Thunderbolt Ross finally has some common sense. Help the green one. What do you think? Only took them the whole movie to get some common sense. But I mean, if you don't have a big action scene, yeah, save it for the end there. Yeah, I guess in this one they decided not to have the when he gets angrier, he gets bigger. Which I actually thought that was cool in the 2003 one. I guess here they wanted him to be a consistent height. But then in the Avengers, they made him like bigger and different design. And like, when Marvel, could you, I don't know, make up your fucking mind on something? Now here we have the helicopter crashing. Oh yeah, and the effects for 2008, they're fine for 2008. That's what you gotta put into your mind is that, again, this is like 13 years ago. See, that's another thing with CGI is that I do think practical effects age a lot better than CGI. I can see excellent practical stunts from 1980, 1990, and it's real and practical effects. CGI, you know, there's a even people who think the CGI looks great now wait 10 years and then look back on the movie. You may change your mind. I mean, for the time, the CGI was fine. As the helicopter crashed and burned. Well, it didn't burn, but... Hulk is pissed. Hulk is going to fuck some people up in the ass. But not really. That'd be Hulk the porno. I'm surprised they haven't done a porno. They do porno everything else. Although maybe I wouldn't want to see a Hulk porno. That'd be really like painful. Like how the fuck would that work? Although I mean, you know, what am I talking about? They just paint some guy in green and have him grunt and talk. Hulk smash that pussy. Hulk smash that pussy. Why'd you say it twice? No, it's because the echo. Because I smashed your pussy so much. It's a gaping hole. Hulk smashed that pussy. It's just a guy in like green makeup. So Hulk the Triple X parody. Oh, time to smash that pussy. If anyone steals that idea, any porno directors, give me a cut. Please, give me a cut of the money you made. You did take that line. Hulk, smash that pussy. Come on, Hulk, smash that pussy. Smash him. He's a big pussy. Jeez, what a big pussy. Jeez, what a big pussy. Smash that. There you go. See, this is the moment. This is pretty cool. Although technically it seemed like the fire was already engulfing them and burning them, but... Yeah, that's a pretty cool movie, you know, the thunderclap, all the fire. I don't remember the Abomination. Like I said, I didn't read the comics too well, so I don't remember the Abomination. Because I never read the comics. Was he the guy who had the chains and the ball at the end of the chain? Or is that another person I'm thinking of? And that's why they have this, like, an ode to that. See, and that's another good crowd-pleasing moment for him to say Hulk smash. Yeah, come on, Hulk, grab it and smack it across his fucking head. Yeah. Oh yeah, he doesn't kill him. That's right, he doesn't kill him. Shows that he controls his anger. That's right. Also, so that this guy could come back for sequels. That never happened. But again, this is to show that yeah, he can, he can control it. Choked him. But what the fuck they don't do to capture him? Like, put fucking handcuffs on him and shit? Like, how they don't contain this motherfucker? Huh. I thought he smacked him more with the chain. Pretty much just choked him out. Hmm. I thought he was gonna like punch the shit out of him a lot more. Huh. I pretty much just grabbed him, like choked him out. That's pretty much what happened. Huh. Thought he was gonna like punch the fuck out of him, like you know, Rocky Balboa style. All these people in the background just staring. See, it's not realistic. They all have their phones up. They'd be doing this. You know. That's what it'd be. Every day, just everyone doing this. Betty? Is that Betty? That was a come pow into the fist. Betty. Yeah, it's like, we give up. We gotta deal with this one motherfucker. Which I still don't know how the hell they're gonna contain him. They can't contain the Hulk, but they'll contain Abomination. What are they gonna do? Put him in a fucking... Like, what if Abomination gets up and starts wrecking house again? Like, okay, Abomination got choked out, but he's not dead. And then, like, what are you gonna do? Put handcuffs on him? What if he gets up? What if he was faking and was like, I got a drilling surge, I'm gonna fuck all you up. Well, what happened then? Everybody's dead, and Hulk will be like, bum 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 bum. Whoops. You fucked up. You fucked up. Then Abomination just killed everybody. And you're off, you didn't... Where is this? British Columbia. Where now he's like controlling his anger. Yeah, that battle with Abomination is not as memorable as I remember. Oh, there's a couple of cool parts. There's getting the car, punching the shab with that. The thunderclap. Well, there's a couple good moments in it. A couple cool moments. Like I said, I think it's Edward Norton that makes this film work the most, to be fair. Like, if it wasn't Edward Norton, I'd be like, it's okay. I'd probably give it, I don't know, maybe 3 out of 5 stars. It's a decent film. Yeah, maybe 3.5. I don't know. 3.5, maybe 3. I don't know. I have to think about it. Oh, this is, the Tony Stark cameo to link them all together. Well, I mean, that was a risky proposition because you're trying to link all this stuff together. What if one of them bombed? like supremely bombed, would have wrecked the whole thing. But I mean, it's a risky venture, but it pulled it off, and they did take their time. They go from Man of Steel to Batman v Superman and have everybody in it. So and then, yeah, in the beginning, it felt cool and different. Like, oh, that guy was an Iron Man, and in the way that was building up to it. Again, that was like a way of building that up to when the Avengers came out was the biggest thing ever, and that continued more and more so to the point. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is the most successful franchise. It's more successful. I can't think of any other franchise like Star Wars. I think it's probably made more money than Star Wars because Star Wars has, well, now, well, 369, like dozen movies. So, but then Marvel, there's like what 20 movies or something. I mean, yeah, you probably combine them all. It made more money than even Star Wars. So, if there's a more successful franchise, you can let me know money making wise, and it paid off for them, and that's why this don't continue. It's just this new phase. But I mean, Captain Marvel made $1 billion. I don't know why the fuck that happened. So they'll all make money, I'm sure. And I'll be like, why the fuck did Captain Marvel make so much money? The Eternals. Why the fuck did this movie make so much money? Shang-Chi. You know what? Watch any Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen film. It'll be better than this. By the way, yeah, The Incredible Hulk, decent film. Not a bad film. Edward Norton did a great job. Yeah, not as much action as you remember, perhaps. There's like maybe 3 action beats. One mostly in the shadow. 2 when he's fucking up some tanks. And 3 with the Abomination fight. Then the Abomination, the design's not really the most interesting, creative, but maybe that's how it was in the comics. I like the design of the Hulk. I like the more greener look to the skin. Tim Roth, don't mind him. I like him as an actor. Liv Tyler, okay. William Hurt, eh. The music, that's another thing. I remember liking the music in the 2003 film more. Like here, the music, I don't even know who did the music. Craig Armstrong. I wouldn't say it's bad, but even the song, I remember I liked the song in the 2000s, Set Me Free, but you know, these songs I don't recognize. I'm seeing if they go, he will return in, I'm wondering if they'll do like, he will return in blah blah blah. No. Okay, I guess they would do that later. Cause at times it'd be like, blank will return in Avengers or something. But no, they didn't do that. Well, okay. Well, with that said, thank you once again, Jose Ballard. Hopefully the commentary wasn't too boring. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.